Oh, also, in addition, for Rain, I do believe some of the automation for Blade Song has been improved. It does have the killer theme song still attached to it. So, doodle-doodle-doodle-doo.
Boo.
Hey, if you give me a better soundbite, I'll totally attach it, but for right now, the dancing flute, it stays. I can customize that to whatever you want it to be, though. So right now it is just going to be the Flute of Torment, because I know every time you play Blade Song and I hear doodly-doodly-doodle-doo, I can feel the cringing. It brings me great joy, by the way. Oh yeah, speaking of cheese, Bonsai, what are you going to do with a 45-pound wheel of cheese that you conjured?
I mean, I gave it to the rats.
Yeah, that's true. But you are the cheese bringer.
I am.
Now these rats have an actual deity to look up to. The one who has made them a new hovel in Castle Vicadus and has given you the gift of cheese. What does it conjure food and drink? It was like 45 pounds of cheese?
Let me check. Create food and drink. Oops.
Of bland, tasteless cheese.
Yeah, I need a wizard to come support to season it a little bit. Yeah, 45 pounds of food and 30 gallons of water. The water was used just to irrigate the plants.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, bland cheese is still cheese, but I won't argue. It's government cheese.
I mean, the queen, queen-elect, the future queen, she was there to oversee it.
That's
she was
true.
not. She was on the other side of the glade, having no idea what you were doing.
I don't know. I think the rats thought we were together.
Boy, they're going to be confused at the coronation, huh?
You're like, what?
I mean, I heard she was trying to prepare actual good cheese, so I think they're going to be pretty happy.
Here's the trick. You gaslight them into thinking that cheese never had flavor. That way you give them more of it. They think it's the best stuff ever.
That's what I was going to try to do, but we went a different direction with the conversation. I was going to try to convince them of that, or that, like, they just didn't have taste buds as an undead.
Bonsai has this weird fascination with just gaslighting people relentlessly.
But I'm not sure if it's because they just don't know, like, what they're talking about, or if they want who they're speaking to not believe what they believe to be talking about. I don't know where I was going with that.
Yeah, I mean, my RP so far is, no, they have no idea what they're talking about, but at the same time, they are, like, utmost confidence in whatever they think, do, or say.
Yes.
So those two don't make a good combination.
Oh, so you're just a rich white dude in tech.
No!
Yeah! But the tech is, tree stuff.
Tree stuff. Big tree.
I mean, quite literally, it sounds like.
Quite literally. Damn it. Everybody working in Big Tree think they're something special.
Something branch office.
God.
Well, based off of what we know about the Arboreans, the amount of layoffs that has impacted Big Tree is approximately equivalent to the layoffs for tech for the last year.
Wow.
Ayo.
Yeah, at least their sacrifices meant something. Ooh,
Oh, did they?
I mean the Arboreans.
Oh, did they? It's not clear to me.
Don't you worry. Just, you can fix it all in the dream. That's what we learned.
Yeah, just
Fix it all in the dream.
okay. So
Only
I mean
if you
that
forever
is,
stay in the dream.
that's the point of the dreaming, though, because the dreaming is an idealistic place that technically doesn't exist. It's supposed to be full of, the best thoughts and your ideals, and then you rip the dreams from the person, and then you put them in tech.
Why don't we just take this dream and push it somewhere else?
You
All I'm
come in
saying is
with
Rain
dream.
is the only person who has successfully created the metaverse. Saying.
Rain has created essentially the holodeck from Star Trek.
Yeah. It's the closest thing we have to a metaverse.
Yeah, pretty much the vision behind all the tech that led to the metaverse, or the idea of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Wangdoodle wants to immediately militarize it.
Wangdoodle,
this
stop.
checks out.
Stop.
Oh, I mean, to be clear, a lot of that research funding was coming from military, so.
Yeah, this checks out.
Uh-oh.
Look, I'm just saying, what if we just built a gun that literally shot someone into the dreaming?
What if you built a gun that shot dream bullets? Fill people with dream holes.
I mean...
Actually, I like this idea. Keep going.
Yeah,
So
keep
you
going.
shoot somebody with it, and instead of getting wounded, they just lose a big chunk of their memories. That memory just dies.
I was thinking like 50 caliber vicious mockery.
Whoa. Or you could also
Yeah, some-
put other thoughts, like you could just have horny bullets.
I mean,
Like
that's
boom, horny thoughts.
You have any idea how many bards you'd have to use to extract that essence?
Bards walking into taverns like 2 pistols on the hip.
you're literally just describing feeble mind. Just take feeble mind and modify memory, jam them together, wrap it up in like a shell casing, and just 2 barrels straight to somebody's face.
Like it.
All right,
They're a brand new person.
but what if we made all of that into a giant mech suit? Just saying, Wing Zero cannon of dreams.
We have mech suits now in Arctis. They're in a pyramid underneath Maginox, and they're made out of brass, and they are currently occupied by mummies. But if
Honestly,
you-
though, what you just said, Wangdoodle, that sounds like a great magical girl transformation. Like,
oh yeah.
I mean,
great
I'll build it.
tagline. Rain does have a mech suit magical girl transformation, also, mind you.
Because she has the Iron Maiden.
Yeah,
Well, in the tensors?
yeah, it's tensors.
Yeah.
We haven't seen that in a while. We need that to happen again.
We haven't seen it in a minute, cause you know, I can't cast when I do it. So if y'all need any support, casting doesn't work.
Wait, we saw it when you were fighting the Nihilith.
Oh yeah, I did pull it out there, but the visuals were.
The visuals were a little,
'cause we haven't used it in a
borked.
really long time.
Yeah. I'm going to have to... Oh, yeah, I haven't actually looked at the tensors again to change the visual. But there was that update to Blade Song, and I did test it, and it worked. So it should be applying all of the correct stats and everything to your character. So that's good. That's great. The more complicated things, like the Blade Singer Wizard, the Artillerist Artificer, the more stuff like that I can get automated, the better. In the meantime, let us do a very quick recap. As a reminder, we are -1 today. Our good friend Drion is out and about, traveling the world and wandering as he is wont to do. So our favorite Leonin will not be joining us today. Drion will be taking a rest in the basement of House Lunesti at the behest of Kire. In the meantime, for the rest of you, previously on Arctis, there's been some talks of a great coronation going on in Maginox, and a young and handsome king-to-be, Eris Lunesti, has finally, with the aid of his friends, become worthy of the Moonblade. By venturing into somewhere deep within the ethereal and the dreaming, the world tree Tapio has taken root and provided its magical roots to work as ley lines, piercing the realms of spirits and dreams. And it is there that, at that junction, where Tapio held Eris and judged the strength of not just him, but the company that he kept. And as he unlocked and opened up the deepest concerns of Eris's mind, he presented them to you as a challenging dungeon, a look into the Thieves' Guild, which Wangdoodle has personally not seen before, and Bonsai has not seen in this form, but Rain was a little bit familiar with. Although the wing that you had started on was one that was unfamiliar to you. As you made your way through the dreaming, you discovered manifestations of Eris's greatest concerns come alive. His despair and anger, his worries about what would happen to his friends back home if you were unable to stop the slow from taking over Arctis, and how the townsfolk, or the ones that survived, would be forced to do anything in order to continue their existence. As you continued on within Eris's dream, finally you found the core of his concerns. A Nihilith that had wormed its way into the young half-Somniari's mind was causing the king great distress, and certainly it was at his weak point where something had wriggled its way through. But Rain, Wangdoodle, Bonsai, and Drion quickly put the Nihilith and its Nihilithic zombies that had turned from the townsfolk into nothing more than a memory. When you returned to Tapio, the trials had not finished, and Eris had also had another great concern, one if he himself did not hold himself to a high standard, if he let the powers that the Somniari had access to overwhelm him and become a scourge of the dreaming. It was true. Even Victoria Vicatus was very cautious of the power that Alara had wielded and had caused Alara to go into hiding for a significant period of time in order to avoid Victoria Vicatus's vile machinations. It's Catherine Ravensblood who had hidden away Alara. But now, Eris, if he was concerned about taking full advantage of the dreaming and the ability to enter one's sleeping, unconscious mind, that he too would be overcome with worry, of concern that if he didn't know everything that was going on in the city, that he would be a weak king, and which would cause him to walk down a darker path, where everyone was like-minded, and no one had any difference in thought, and finally Maginox would achieve peace. But that dream, or that nightmare, was also put to a quick end, but not before Drion took a grievous wound and almost tumbled into the infinite ether, the dreaming. While everyone had made it out of Tapio's trials intact, Drion had some lingering mental wounds that he was left to deal with on his own. His concern about Eris being perhaps a better fighter than he was more worrisome than the wounds he may have sustained in the dreaming, which are now mostly healed thanks to Rain's sister's ministrations. You know what?
The second one.
The
Minestrones? Yeah, the Minestrones. I'm like, the ministration. You know what? I'm gonna take a sip of water.
The ministration.
I like the Minestrones, personally. Drion, still struggling with his mental fatigue, will be watched over by Rain's blade-singing sister. At least until the coronation was complete, and her duty to bodyguard and guide the Crichton spy to your doorstep was complete. Now, currently, there are just a few things happening in Maginox. One, the upcoming Coronation is the talk of the town, and rumors are starting to spread here and there. Where will it be held? Who will be coming in? Will it be a grand party, something everybody can look forward to and celebrate on the streets, or a private, closed-off affair, something that the vampires of Maginox used to do, closed-off parties only for the social elite? Hoping desperately for the latter, Maginox is now abuzz with renewed tourism coming in from all over Arctis. Even places like Kozlo's Den are seeing a resurgence of popularity, and other notable
I'm
places.
sorry, what?
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 Kozlo's Den? Yes?
What?
Hmm?
What is that?
Yeah, what is? You've been there once.
I don't think Rain has.
You did, yeah. You were there during a session.
Sus.
You were. Yeah, I got it on video.
Sus.
And while places like the Crimson Auction have not reopened, certainly because the auction was probably partaking in some darker trades, that will be closed until the leadership of Maginox decides what to do with it. Below the city of Eternal Night, the city of the Lava Drow, Vacaris, is currently embroiled in a elemental struggle, as the leadership of Vacaris is now bereft of leadership. The Fire Lord, the Fire Lord Novus is concerned about the what will happen to his remaining people, as the Earth Ganassi and the Vacarans are currently in a political struggle that the details to you are somewhat unknown. But you know that their potential for civil war is high, and you do also know that the Lava Drow have very little love for the reborn of Maginox. Their origins, and what had sent them down into the caves initially, was the influx of undead that were primarily on the surface of Arctis, before the Drow were driven underground and forced to make a pact with an elemental lord in order to survive. But now that that lord has moved in with an army of Drow at his side, the Earth Ganassi have been pushed out. The Drow have made a very powerful home underneath Maginox. And it's also home to a very famous college of magmancers known as the Obsidian Halls. So shit's happening underneath Maginox. Outside of Maginox, there's a dragon, but it's Wangdoodle's mom. Don't worry about it. Rumors of a shadow of a dragon have been heard passing across the crowds of Maginox. There have been shadows of dragons across the clouds of the night sky, and it might be Siksik who is wheeling about, wondering why her smartest child has come to the city of Eternal Night. And her reasons for coming to Polaris, to the Maginox region, will be disclosed at a further time. As the Crichton spy from the south would love to find any sort of demonic taint around Maginox in order to discredit Rain, to prevent her from taking the throne in any sort of official manner, Bonsai has taken it upon themselves to also search for demons around Maginox, and hopping on their trusty Seed Scythius, has flown over the remains of House Vicadus, mostly left empty from the recent running through of the adventurers. The only thing that has been patrolling the grounds are some of the arcane constructs that are only powered by the residual and fading blood energies that Victoria Vicadus had used to power them, but now summoning the might and wrath of Arctis and the power of nature and the light itself. Bonsai has caused the local flora to heed their call and grow over the mansion in a thick and forbidding, thorny zone, banning anything that might be vaguely human-sized from entering. And hopefully, any sort of demonic presence, if there were any remaining in the house, would be smothered by the vines and destroyed. We hope. Now, although, Bonsai, you are technically a Auralian Arborian. Your world tree is Sika, and you have introduced some very strange and foreign plant life into the area. Plant life that is used to being soaked in the eternal sun. What have you done, Bonsai? This realm of eternal night has yet to be seen, but will surely make an impact. Much to Catherine Ravensblood's chagrin. With all of that said, we will return today to Maginox. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I think we'll start on the streets. Bonsai, you have spent 8 hours flying over the remains of Castle Vicadus, and as the automatons below cannot reach you, and Saethius, they are powerless as the vines overtake them and slow and stop them completely. They are frozen as you command the plant life to overtake the grounds. It does take 8 hours, but the time has passed, and you wheel your trusty steed back over to Maginox proper. Rain, honestly, you have been wandering the streets with Mora, and you've also visited the new Church of Eternal Night. And, well, not very impressive, really. A ragtag band of tourists, mostly there for the entertainment value. The goblin who was preaching was passionate, but a bit scatterbrained. Didn't seem like she had any particular focus for her sermon, except for the asking a lot of questions part. But all new religions have to start somewhere. Wangdoodle, your mother has landed on the bow of the ship. Thankfully not gotten stabbed to death by Dreon. And has asked for you to take her about the city and have a nice little conversation. Catch up a little bit, mother to son. And thus, Bonsai, Rain, and Wangdoodle will all meet back up on the streets of Maginox today. Wangdoodle accompanied by Siksik, his mother. Rain accompanied by Mora and Bonsai with Saethius. One moment, please. I may have forgotten to put you guys on the map.
Oh no, how terrible. Guess I'll have to go out to the city tomorrow, Ma. Not tonight.
Oh no!
And then so terrible.
Wow! Oh, wow! Wangdoodle over here. We're falling! Oh, sorry. Oh, Kung Pao will never not. Like, if there was a contest where it's like, give me the laugh, just fucking quote anything from Kung Pao, I will break immediately. Alright, one moment, please.
Just a birdie, too.
Fuck you! It works! Back in the streets of Maginox. Excuse me. Back in the streets of Maginox, the residents are preparing, at least, to honor their newfound king. A bit of decoration, some hanging lanterns, and changing some of the local colors from the creepy vampiric red, to the more lunisty lavender, the vivacious violet that the Lunesti crest is associated with, is starting to overtake the streets. The vendors have all come out from their buildings in order to appease the eager crowd. Bonsai, you land with Saethius far to the north, and you see that the Crimson Auction is currently closed. Its decorative skull above it, in dire need of some cleaning. You can see to the south Wangdoodle walking alongside a curious and slightly larger white kobold wearing shamanistic beads, draped cloths, and small bones wrapped around some of her scales. Rain, to the south, Mora has been sampling many of the vendors and is apparently just on a bend. She's on an eating rampage. As she goes from vendor to vendor, she samples the goods and tries to find something interesting that will make the townsfolk sing. She seems to be taking some, at least a little bit of delight in this.
Great.
We will start first. Excuse me, I had to wipe my nose. With Wangdoodle and Siksik in the center of the map. Siksik and Wangdoodle, you have taken the ornithopter back to town. Siksik has decided to remain in her smaller and more matronly kobold form, and has been happily riding the ornithopter along with Wangdoodle. She is very proud of your little invention, and has given you a complimentary head pat. Good job.
I'm so glad you're finally on my side about all this, Ma. I mean, the last time we had a conversation about my work, you weren't too happy about it.
I did not think you would ever truly fly without actually growing wings. Yet, you found a way. Yes, you did. What is it you call it again?
Well, it's called an ornithopter, Ma.
Ornithopter. Curious. I like how it is shaped like dragon. Very honorable. Looks a little bit like your mother, no? In truth, your ornithopter is whatever color you deem it to be. Siksik is a white kobold.
All right, I don't want to break down the psychology of it. You know what, Ma? I'm glad you like it, Ma. I'm glad you like it. The city's gonna be a little busy. Don't get too distracted. We gotta stay with me here.
Why not buy your mother a tasty treat? I have been in the cold for so long, my bones are aching.
Oh, I mean, sure we can. Let's just see if we can find a food vendor. A lot of these people are just like tourists, Ma. They're not going to be able to sell you anything.
You there, small goblin. Are you selling goods?
Mom, no.
What? What?
No. We're gonna keep going.
Perhaps cherry pie?
I'm terribly sorry about her. No. That's
You
their
there in the
snacks,
coat.
Ma. That's their snacks, Ma.
You
We'll find
you
it.
look shady. Do you perhaps have cherry pie?
Ma, we'll get you cherry pie. Don't take food from strangers.
I smell it somewhere.
Yeah, just keep coming this way. You'll be fine. Just. Hi, Rain. How's it going?
Hello,
Rain.
Wangdoodle. Sick. It's a pleasure to see you
Hello.
again.
It is very good to see you. I have heard so much about you. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Yes, that.
I have recently relocated to area to catch up with my small and petulant child. You have met two of them. This is another. He is the Wangdoodle.
Oh, Wangdoodle's one of yours.
Yes.
Wangdoodle, you never mentioned that you are one of 6 brood.
Wangdoodle has been attempting to try to move out of the conversation, disappear into the crowd. Oh yeah, no, yeah, she raised me, she did, and she was really great till I told her what I was gonna go study, but it's just fine. It's behind us, right? It's
Yes,
behind us.
petulant child chose to abandon his brood for personal gain. Very big no-no.
Yeah,
Well, he's
and
been
the
so
fam-
useful to us.
You make his decision sound like it was right one, when Sik could have used extra hand to feed your many brothers and sisters.
Well, of course, he should be assisting with that regardless, but...
But
You
now...
know, I'm gonna go find that cherry pie. You two have fun.
Silly, stinking child.
Honestly, he's not even in the top 5 smelliest people on the Audacity.
How is it that this smart child has ended up in, well, your company?
That's a really good question, actually. Lou sent him to settle some obligations that Lou made to us.
All comes back to that damnable rabbit. I see.
Damnable rabbit, indeed.
That rabbit is probably the only thing coming between Borealis and entire imminent destruction. Perhaps I should not be so hard on him.
Oh, everybody does this. I'm sure it's fine. He loves being in that position.
Yes, but he has also taken the attention of my child. Wangdoodle.
For the last time, Ma, I was trying to figure out a way to solve a problem that was going to make it that we couldn't just fly off to a new home. I kept trying to tell you that. There wouldn't be anything left. That's kind of why I was studying it.
Yes, and while I chose to spoke with ancestors, spirits, accumulated knowledge of the cosmos, you chose to light things on fire and giggle with friends.
Well, yes, you worked your side of things, but unfortunately, I still had to protect my side of things, and so that's what I did.
There, by absconding your duties at home and going to Rabbit College.
Look, do you want this cherry pie or not, Ma? Okay, look,
I
we can argue this over and over. Eat your cherry pie. Stop being a menace to society.
She holds out her hands for the pie, slavering. Give it! Give it!
Wangdoodle takes a hot cherry pie he got from a vendor down the street and hands it off to his mother slightly dismissively.
She bites into it, her mouth covered in gore of cherries.
My apologies, Rain. She gets hangry sometimes.
Oh, I know. I'm keenly aware of her proclivities as it relates to cherry pie.
Well, you might be interested. She's got a new proclivity, if you want to call it that.
Oh?
Yeah, she's kind of a dragon now.
A what?
She looks up at you, her mouth full of cherries from the cherry pie, and gives you a toothy grin. For a moment, you see something else. Sick in a cave, her mouth also covered in gore, but instead of a cherry pie, she holds a large heart of a dragon in her hands. The heart that you had given her, the heart of Rhymefang. Your vision returns to Sick eating the cherry pie, and she licks her lips.
Oh. Congratulations and/or I'm sorry.
Yeah, I haven't quite figured that one out either.
Kobolds come from a long line of dragons, able to do what big dragons cannot. Now, my brood can be protected, and I, with my accumulated knowledge of ancestors, can find a place for them to be safe and call home.
And is that what has brought you to Polaris then? Are you looking to put down roots?
Sick grins and begins to eat the cherry pie. Oh yes, you could say that. Make me an insight check.
I'd rather not. Okay.
Sick.
He's distracted by pie. It's fine.
No, Sick seem to enjoy your usage of putting down roots, perhaps a little too on the nose as she continues digging into her pie. As enigmatic as the shaman kobold is, you do know her to have powerful magic, and, well, the threat of the slow from Borealis surely was just one of the reasons that had brought her to this area.
So you and the whole clan are here then? Is that I'm given to understand? I haven't actually. You know what? The last time we were in Borealis, we didn't really see any kobolds. We thought it was a little odd.
We must have been in transport. Many frozen kobolds clinging to back of Sick.
Oh, like one of those adorable little possum videos with all the babies on the back?
I do not believe I lost any on the way, though the strong ones will make it home. But yes, I am looking for permanent residency in Maginox. I find the cold nice, comforting.
In Maginox, you say? Like the city proper?
Nearby. However, it has caused some complications with some local competition. Fear not, it has been mostly resolved.
I'm sorry, competition as draconic competition?
Sick wags her head back and forth. Yes and no. And yes. The spirits of Borealis had led me here. There's a strong resonance here that I feel. And as you know, Rain, like Prismata, dragons are creatures of essence, like to be in. Sick gestures at herself. Why, White dragon kobold likes the cold. So I search for a place where it is always cold, but also has powerful magic. This is Maginox.
All right then. You would tell me though if we had a dragon problem, right, Sik?
Do you consider Sik a problem?
Well, not generally, no.
You have no dragon problem, just those that wish to dabble in other draconic magics. It may resolve itself, it may not. Time will tell. There's a second dragon heart that has been given, not just to Sik, though I thank you greatly for Rhymefang's heart. Another heart.
You're very welcome.
There was a dragon that lived underneath Maginox, a red one. Long time ago, very powerful. Like to sit near lava, warm its scales, yes? The dragon rampaged across the city, destroying many, when it once lived side by side with what you call Vacarans. The Vacarans lost many, but eventually slayed the dragon and took its heart to study, to preserve, for future proofing. And while they toiled with magics of fire and made promises to fire lords in order to protect themselves from the heat of dragon fire, the heart sat, preserved, until it was relocated, procured by, wouldn't you know it, curious red kobolds. These kobolds took the heart that once belonged to their beloved red dragon and placed it in a magical cauldron, hoping to one day revive their red dragon lore. But these kobolds, small, stupid, not well versed in spirits, while the cauldron still preserved the heart, it began to rot, become tainted. Until someone thought it was a good idea to also, she grimaces, eat this long-dead dragon heart. This person, whomst you may or may not know as Grabella.
Grabella, where have I heard that name before?
She keeps company of small green man known as Kozlo.
Oh, yes, they're the adventurers who honestly are into a whole lot of weird shit. They own this bar over here or something, I think.
Interesting.
Wait, so she's a dragon?
No, not quite. Simply eating a heart does not turn you immediately into dragon. We would have many more dragons flying about if that were true. No. However, instead of instantly turning to pillar of flame, the preserved dragon heart and the reborn seem to have curiously melded together, and she is showing draconic powers, manifesting as if she were dragon, but is not dragon. The fire in her has not burnt her alive yet. Is why I say problem may resolve itself. If she is strong enough of spirit to hold the fires of a dragon, within her, then perhaps, maybe there is a chance. Time will tell.
Well, neat. I now know there are 2 dragon-adjacent creatures in Maginox, more than I knew there were, 10 minutes ago.
Yes, but be warned. That dragon heart that she had consumed, the heart of the red dragon, something made it turn on the people of Arctis. I do not know what, but whatever may have tainted that dragon may reside now in Grabella. It may be worth keeping an eye on her, just in case.
Well, thank you for the information.
Is from friend to petulant child.
Ma, I swear, I'm not gonna have this argument with you over and over again.
She throws the pie pan at you.
That shit, what? Ah!
Bring me another!
No! Absolutely not. Not after that.
What?
You apologize.
She looks at you with all the indignation she could muster as a dragon. Ugh. Apologize for what? You're clumsy, smelly, stinky.
Wangdoodle sighs with exasperation, picks up the pie pan, and out of his satchel draws a vial of black powder, pours it into the center of the pie pan, puts a little paper in there, and a quick lighting fuse, shapes it into a ball, lights the fuse, tosses it in the air, and makes an impromptu firework.
Oh, wow.
Seconds later, Bonsai on Saithia swoops in. What? Demons? Oh.
No.
Oh,
no,
Wangdoodle.
No demons, Bonsai. Just a firework. Just a firework.
One of the tourists in the back
was flying
is
over and I saw an
clapping.
explosion.
Yay!
I thought the worst.
Oh,
well,
Bonsai, meet Six-Six. Six-Six, an old friend, and also apparently Wangdoodle's mom.
Yeah.
Hello?
That's great.
I am the broodmother of this small blue child, Wangdoodle.
Six-Six, this is Bonsai. They are the last of the Arborians.
Yes, nice to meet you, Broodmother. I am of the brood of Arctis.
She gets a good think.
Oh no, Six-Six.
So, what?
There's a really good cherry.
The brood of what is Arborian?
Well, that is something I'm still trying to answer myself, but I believe it's, in today's day and age, the root source of the savior of this land to make sure that the demon invasion led by Tiamat does not come and cause problems.
Rain leans over, whispers in Six. They're a tree.
The tree? Why do they care about? What's the invoking name of? She spits on the ground. Tiamat.
I feel similarly, and Bonsai tries to spit, and just an entire good berry just comes out onto the ground and splashes and creates.
Oh, weird.
What is?
Yes.
Do you just dispense those?
Yes, they just grow every day. There are some things that you can't control about your body, and this is one that I can't control about mine.
Fascinating. You were right. Rain is 3 people. We shall have to share stories sometime of what the whispers of Arctis tell us. I'm sure you would have very curious insight. You are a curious creature.
I just am.
And what is this cat steed you ride upon that has been pulled from the spirit world in order to serve? What do you call it?
This one has told me that is known as Saithius. Apparently it's the spirit that was joining Rain and several others prior to my arrival. But Arctis sent this spirit to me to help ensure I could get where I needed to faster.
Six blinks. Saithius. I seem to remember the name being attached to a more fleshy body. Perhaps,
Yes, Saithius sort of died.
And this is, yes, to honor spirit of Saithius. I see. It is an honor to meet you, Spirit Saithius.
You just see Saithius' eyes like cross, go wide, uncross, and then go in the opposite direction.
Oh, great spirit of flight, may you bear this one upon your ethereal wings. Very well. Rain, your company has changed slightly, but I like. What about the others? The small, handsome, and the large, furred one. I do remember Ekashiba. I do see him around Borealis. Permanent?
At least for now, as I understand it, he wanted some time to protect Borealis. Flix is around somewhere, but we haven't seen him in some time. We did meet his patron, though. That was kind of weird.
Ah, interesting. The ferry serves another. And did you glean anything interesting?
Not especially. She was a little mad.
Aren't we all? It sounds like you have had some significant adventures, though Ekashiba choosing to remain in Borealis may be a bit of a folly.
Why do you say that?
There is the simmering problem of the slow within the geothermic rift. It is not getting any better. Prismata is doing everything she can in order to prevent it from seeping into the roots of the world trees. But she is merely one dragon, and I am not strong enough yet to assist her. Since I come to Maginox.
Well, actually, once all this business with the coronation and everything is done, we are heading somewhere to try and deal with that exact problem.
Then
Would you like to come over for dinner, Siksik?
Me? You would have this ragged, stinking kobold at your table? Would that not offend your guests?
Oh, if they're offended, I don't care. You're an old friend. And also you should stay for the coronation, of course.
I have not seen the rise of a king before. Is it our little lad Eris Lunesti?
It is indeed. You'll be our honored guest.
She looks back at Wangdoodle.
Wangdoodle rolls his eyes, knows that there's no way out of this for him. Yes, Ma, it would be great if you joined us. It would, is through clenched teeth, it would be so lovely to spend more time with you.
He sounds so thrilled to have me. How could I say no?
You start with an N and finish with an O, but I understand you deciding to say yes.
Eh. However, I will not be able to dawdle forever. There are many hungry brood, and I need to hunt.
Of course.
I will return for your coronation as honored guest. And with blessing of small child, of course.
Oh, yes, of course. Mom, I'm just going to defer all, permission stuff to Rain. This is kind of her territory. Like, literally.
Then I shall treat it with all the respect of old friend who has been so kind to my many progeny.
Yes, I'm sure they're all doing great. I'm so happy they're living closer. I'm so very happy.
You would make their day if you come out to cavern, avoid Varkaris, and see your brothers and sisters.
Oh boy, Ma, it sounds like a great idea, but it's really, when Rain says we gotta go, then we gotta go. I don't really have any say over that.
Oh, Wangdoodle, we have quite a bit of time until the coronation.
Well, that's not what I heard from Mora. Mora really wants to move the schedule along. We really shouldn't dawdle any longer than we absolutely have to. And Wangdoodle slowly approaches that towards Rain. Really, I think we can really, cut down it. Please, for the love of anything, don't make this harder than it has to be.
Mora over in the corner has like 3 different things of kebab in her hands and is just taking tiny bites out of each one and going, after each bite.
Oh, well, I suppose on second thought, there's an awful lot of preparation that Wangdoodle must attend to aboard the ship. So, then again, perhaps not.
Yeah, we got new systems in place, man, and you remember Morris from my letters, until you stopped replying, like those letters. Yeah, Morris. I gotta teach him how to do the new system.
I remember the curious human, the one poking his head always where it does not belong, the one whose arm was blown off in his folly. Yes, that one.
Yeah, somehow he still graduated. Not sure how that happened. But anyway, so I gotta go teach him so that he doesn't lose his other arm.
This is wise.
No, please, but by all means, yeah, relax, spend plenty of time around here. I'm gonna be on the ship. Don't know why I told you that, but yeah, just take your time. Just enjoy it.
I don't know if we should be enjoying. There's always risk that demons could be coming out from anywhere of the city. It's a very awful place. Sik, you said you can turn into a dragon. Do you think maybe you could help me patrol and identify dangers as they might arise?
I do not understand what this entails, though if you need protection for your coronation, I am happy to provide. Though the sight of dragon flying overhead may unsettle some townsfolk. And on the eve of ceremony may not be wanted.
Maybe we hold off on the dragon bit for a bit. Yeah, I mean, we'll be neighbors after all, but
keep it as a surprise. If the demons show up, they won't know what we have in store.
Yes, also Sik is a very accomplished shaman in her own right. She's helped us track numerous demons before. Perhaps she can lend her assistance in other ways if you wanted to explore that, Bonsai.
The taint of the demons despoils the spirits and twists the harmony of nature.
Yes, that's actually where I think I came from. Thorn and her group were utterly failing at trying to protect Arctis and the rest of this world from the demon invasion, so somehow that need created me.
There is always need where evil may raise its head.
Yes, and that's why I'm here. Do you know where there might be demons? Should there be something that I should be doing right now?
If there are demons that are worth their salt, they would be among us without us even knowing it. They are devious, cruel, and not being wont to walk the streets so avidly. They use deception, obfuscation, manipulation. They will not be easy to find, if there are any, and we may not know if there is one among us until it is too late.
Oh no, that's not good at all.
Do not
You can see
underestimate.
Bonsai looking left and right behind them and just scoping everything out. And they're actually going to trigger, even though I know what's going to happen, they're going to trigger Divine Sense.
Bonsai, your mind is momentarily overwhelmed as there are many undead around you. An extremely large amount of undead within 60 feet that are not behind total cover. It is disorienting as you are acutely aware of anyone and anything that is undead around you. The Potion Geist is clearly undead. The Wanderer to the east is undead. Both of the Maginox Commoners are also undead. Mortal Devices is undead, so is Screaming Scrolls. One of the two performers over here is undead. Repossessed Armors is undead to the south. And that is about as far as that goes.
Rain, I don't want to alarm you, but I mean to alarm you. There is a high chance that there are undead here, and undead are usually associated with demons. I don't know if it's safe for you to be out here. And with that, Bonsai just takes off into the sky.
Okay, Bonsai.
You may
that's
want to
Bonsai.
get a handle on that. Passion without goal often ends up in exhaustion.
Yeah, they really want to kill Tiamat. Like a lot.
How does one kill a manifestation of combined evils and torment?
I don't know, but if anybody's gonna find it, I think Bonsai might.
Let us hope they do not go on any sort of foolish and misguided crusade. Maginox is hopefully a place of peace,
Hopefully it is now. It wasn't. Killed a lot of people here. A lot of people. Bad people, of course.
There are many reborn who have come back on less than ideal circumstances, and not all of them are good and pure souls. Let his judgment not be so errantly misguided.
Well, given what happened at Lucaris' ascension ceremony, I think a little bit of paranoia isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Touché.
Well, shall we... Dinner, House Lunesti? We can tell you all about what we're doing next, Sixik.
I would be honored, especially if small blue child joins us. Yes?
More clenched teeth. Of course, Ma. I'm so happy to be there.
I think it would be a wonderful opportunity, Wangdoodle, for you to share all the ways that you're integral to saving Arctis itself.
Yeah, it'd be. I'm really looking forward to it, Ma. Really, I'd love to really fill you in on all this.
Perhaps light another one of your demon fireworks when we get home, so all the friends can join us. Summon the bonsai from sky.
You got it, Ma. You
Now,
got it.
where did you find that cherry pie? Oh.
Down on your right there. Wangdoodle finally unclenches his jaw. Oh, jeez. This is not. This is not.
What's wrong, Wangdoodle?
And it's always this back and forth with her. She says, I left the house and I left the brood. I left to go study because I wanted to figure out a way to not just, fix the slow that we got, but should it continue, find some kind of benefit out of it. And she didn't like the fact that I was going to go to work with it and especially try to manipulate it. So she says I left, but honestly, she told me I couldn't come home. She's not going to like the fact that I know that I'm working on weaponizing the slow and using it to our advantage, but she just... It's just how it is.
My mother didn't really understand my passions either, for what it's worth. She wanted me to be another ranger captain just like her. And when Queen Celine recruited me to become a witchblade in her service, she was not very happy. Haven't spoken to her in quite some time.
Yes, I'm sorry to hear that. I mean, I'm assuming you miss her. I mean, if you don't, then maybe not feel as bad.
It's a little sad. I'm just saying, I sort of understand the feeling of no matter what you do, you're never really going to live up to a parent's ideal vision for yourself.
It's really hard to tell, like, what she would like us to do or what she's expecting of herself. Like, I never thought that I'd see her, in all honesty, changed like this. I know I didn't agree with her. I didn't see the world the way she does, but this is just I have no idea what to do with the whole dragon thing now.
Well, that's sort of a little bit my fault, I think. So, apologies there, but...
A lot bit your fault?
I mean, 1/4 my fault.
Yeah.
I'm assuming this has something to do with our cannon, our new disintegrate cannon.
Actually, no, it has nothing to do with our new cannon. That's a totally different dragon skull.
Ironic.
Weirdly enough.
Strangely enough.
As long as you know what happened to that heart, I'm not as worried,
Actually, I don't. We just found it as a skull, so no idea.
It's just you know what? This is fine. It's not a problem I need to add on to my list right now.
I do know the location of a few disembodied draconic spirits, though, that I made a little grove in the Dreaming to let them feel better after being released from being shackled together in a patchwork Frankenstein-esque monster of a dragon and forced to breed tainted dragon eggs. I know where that is.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about my mom trying to find her hands on some, spirits of tainted dragon egg layers.
Okay.
No, it's maybe I'm just, overthinking it and just getting a little anxious, but something, and maybe it's just I'm getting used to the whole, hey, I'm a dragon now thing, but something feels just off. I don't know.
For what it's worth, I think what you're doing is great for Arctis. I might not fully agree with your methods, but I think you're on the right track. And I think your mother, if she's not already really proud of you and just too proud to say it, I think she will be.
I mean, I hope so. But you know, let's if you don't mind, let's move off this topic and get on to some other agenda.
Six walks back up with a cherry pie in each hand. She's taking turns biting, taking large bites out of one and then the other.
Oh, good. You found them.
Oh.
Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm having a small chuckle moment. 1 moment, please.
Well, I was going to go check out one of the vendors before heading back, but then we can all walk back to House Sunesti.
Yeah, you know, that sounds a good idea. Let's... Ma, you're spilling cherries all over me. Try to control yourself.
I do love the cherry pie. Forgive my crumbs.
I wouldn't recommend going after the ones you spill onto the ground, Ma.
5-second rule. She picks up cherry off the ground and eats it. Crunchy. Screaming
Elevated
Scrolls
parents, am I
greets you. Screaming Scrolls greets you. Welcome to Screaming Scrolls! That's all I got.
Did she scream so loud that actually it
I think I peaked my mic. Yeah, she screamed into the ethereal. She's probably freaked out anybody downstairs. Welcome to Screaming Scrolls! How can I help you?
Hi.
Hello!
Just wondering if you have any new scrolls. Doesn't look like you have any new scrolls, though.
Is there something in particular you're looking for?
Oh, that was loud, very loud. I mean, there's a few things I would be interested in if you had them lying around.
Scroll of silence.
Go on!
Well, particularly something in the vein of a banishment, perhaps.
She nods. This can be arranged!
Okay.
Give me 48 hours! I must travel to the ethereal!
Oh, yes, of course. That makes perfect sense. I feel really uncomfortable right now, like you're yelling at me, and I understand you're not. This is just your voice.
This is my inside voice!
It's a good thing you're incorporeal, or else I think your vocal cords would get rather sore rather quick.
They are becoming increasingly more sore!
Well, I'll tell you what, I will leave you be. I'll come back in a few days then, and you can rest those pipes of yours.
Great! Thank you!
All right. Cheerio. All right. You know what? This is fine. This is the city that I'm going to be queen of, apparently.
Are you just looking for banishment?
Yeah.
Okay. In 48 hours, Screaming Scrolls may be able to acquire this for you.
Oh.
Future Queen of Maginox.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Anything you wanted to check out while we're here, Wangdoodle?
I'm trying to think of a couple new projects, but I don't think there's anything important I need to do right now. Maybe find a place where I can set up a shop when we have some downtime if I want to make a little extra project money.
There's a lot of available real estate around Maginox. I'm sure we could help you find a place.
Oh yeah, sure. We could do that. We could repurpose Kozlo's den. I mean, yeah, we could find some real estate.
Well, I mean, you picked literally like one of two places that's currently occupied, but sure. Lunesti's to the left, right?
It's semantics,
All right. Heading back to House of Lunesti?
Yep. And we'll, I don't know, flag bonsai down with a firework or something, I guess, apparently.
Woo!
Should work.
We're leaving more at a kebab fest.
She's
Laura
loving
is
this.
on task. She's on task right now.
She's sampling? Alright, I'm trying to make sure you guys are actually on this map already. I believe you are. One moment, please. Bonsai, cheesebringer.
Yes.
Just every time I drag you to the board, it's like, bonsai, comma. And then I'm like, what is that comma? And I click, oh yeah, cheesebringer.
Not quite as good as the Bark Knight, but I'll take it.
It's good. It's good. All right.
Cheese.
I like it if Bonsai just collects titles over their career. Go full Daenerys at some point and just be like,
I am Bonsai, the cheesebringer, the vine lord, the bark knight. Yeah?
Really, I need a herald,
The
though,
spider
because Bonsai's
stinger,
not
the
going
barrel
to say
rider.
that themselves. They need someone else to say it for them as they enter the space.
I'm confident Bonsai will find somebody with the way
Let
they
me
like
just-
to boss people around.
Let me build you a Robo Squire.
What a very nice house you have, Rain. Very nice. You have done so well for yourself.
Well, that's what happens when you murder the existing ruling party of a city and reinstall a exiled prince, I suppose, and then marry him.
Eh. Turns out our little lad, it was worth coming home after all, no?
Yeah, turns out.
He could have sat in that guild for the rest of his life, There, where
Well, good
where
thing I
would
came
you
along
be?
then.
Yeah, it is good. I am sure he is greatly appreciative. Have the spirits blessed your home yet?
I don't know. I'm a little new to it myself. And as I understand it, it's only very recently rebuilt. We've been on an adventure for quite some time. We only recently returned from Auralia.
If I may, a small magical gift, a small ward upon your door to bring you good fortune.
I would be honored.
Sik rummages around in one of her leather pouches and produces a shriveled, dried berry. It looks a little bit like a good berry, but significantly bigger. She puts it in a mortar and pestle and grinds it for a moment, and adds another mysterious liquid from one of her pouches at her side. Taking it and first smearing the juice across the scales on the top of her head, she lightly traces her claws on the door in vague and ancient draconic language. There, for good fortune. May your hoard be populated and the fortune flow in. There. It is blessed.
Oh, you said horde.
Yes.
Hoard with a
Hoard.
D. Yes. Of course.
Yes. Yes. Your
Yes.
treasures, what you have in your home.
Of course. Thank you so much, Sixig.
Yes, your whore. Your whore. Your whore.
She's got that French horse outside.
The ore. The ore.
When you roll your R so hard, you can't pronounce the D.
Ah. It's very nice. You have large entry room.
Honestly, I don't even think I've seen all of this house yet. It is
There
quite
are-
large.
Many other violet elves here. Family?
Not of mine, no, but of Eris's.
See, Wangdoodle, it is good to have extended family visit. For major occasions, birthday, ascension, graduation, coronation.
Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving, bar mitzvahs,
Yom
Yes,
Kippur.
I'm such a terrible child. I know, Ma. I know. Trying to work on saving the entire place, but it's fine.
sweet scale teen.
Entire city sits and waits for future king, yet he has whole family here. Curious.
It's okay, Ma. Half of these people came with us, came and gave us something to do. But yeah, sure, family. They're all family.
The three violet-skinned elves, Callie, and a couple of the the robed somniari that you have come to know as the moon sages. We're all sitting and talking in the main room while a Hamaki loyalist patrols awkwardly.
Very awkward. Who taught you how to patrol, son?
I just go where the wind takes me.
Bonk.
Bonk!
Bang.
I was drafted you.
Excuse me, Callie.
Oh.
Hi.
Lady Silversong.
I just wanted to inform you we'll have a guest for dinner tonight.
Of course. And who is it, may I ask?
The Honorable Sixig of Borealis, or formerly of Borealis.
Sixik steps forward and does a small and polite curtsy. Yes, mother to that one. Small blue. Oh, Wangdoodle's mom. She looks at Rain, quirks an eyebrow. Yes?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
She's also been quite an ally for us back in work in Borealis, dealing with the slow issue.
Then I will be sure to tell the housekeepers have another plate and a chair set for Sixig.
And lots of cherry pie, Rain whispers to Callie. Just trust me. If
Of cour-
possible.
Of course, I'll have to see. Rain, this is Eletha. She's come to visit us from Isir. She is one of our moon sages who was thankfully spared from Victoria's wrath, as she was working elsewhere at the time.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, Eletha?
Ellie,
Rain bows slightly.
You can call me Ellie. It's so nice to meet you.
So familiar, yes. Lovely to meet you as well.
She nods at Wangdoodle and Sixig. We're all very excited about your upcoming coronation.
See, everybody seems to be, yes. Are you just here for the coronation, or are you here on other business?
I'm a little bit of business, a little bit of pleasure, but I'm here to make sure that everything goes off without a hitch, and also to see my extended family. It's been quite some time since I've left the cold of Asir, and it's good to be somewhere that's just a little bit warmer.
And where in Asir were you? My understanding, forgive me, I don't fully understand Arctis geography yet, but I was given to understand that Asir was pretty much a wasteland at this point. Are there still places where people are living there?
There are small pockets of civilization, yes, but that's one of the reasons why there is a moon sage's sanctum there. Its remote location does ensure that, while it's difficult for anyone that may want to bother us to get there, it ensures that only those truly in need end up in our doorstep.
I see.
She smiles and gestures to the other moon sage nearby.
The defeated moon sage.
Yeah. Yeah, he looks a little sad.
Oh. I wasn't sure if it was like defeated, like he looks defeated, or if it was like defeated, like they just had a Pokemon battle and he just got crushed.
The moon sages of Asir particularly, we focus our efforts on recuperative healing magics of the mind, and generally through the use of the dreaming and memory.
Oh, therapy. Thank Arctis you're here. There's so much therapy that is needed in this house. Please.
My office is open to everyone. If there's anyone that needs to talk or get something off of their chest, or just wants a friendly ear, I am always here.
Lovely. Callie, mandatory therapy for basically everyone. Remember that.
Wait, everyone?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh my, would you look at the time?
They've been without therapy for a long time, Ellie. You don't understand.
Well, unfortunately, due to some of the events in Maginox, we have been unable to return. It is good to be here, good to be around so much family. It's been quite some time since I've left the sanctum.
Well, you are most welcome.
Thank you. Callie is looking at you like, are you serious about the therapy thing?
Rain was pretty goddamn serious.
Whew.
Rain looks back. You know who I mean, Callie. You
Oh,
know
okay.
exactly who I mean.
Yeah, but we'll probably start with Eris. Oh, good. Was there
The man
anything
around
else you
here would
needed?
literally rather go through multi-layered nightmare hellscapes than go to therapy, so we need to address that.
Turns out Elith's therapy is also multi-layered nightmare hellscapes.
But you know what? Rain doesn't have to do it.
Yes, very lovely home. Many elves. Show me around, yes?
Of course. I will do my best. You know what? Haven't gone this way yet. Maybe we start over here.
Ah, yes. Very nice mirror. Yes, looking very good, Siksik.
We're gonna. Oh, actually, this is the stairs up to the. So we'll start on the second floor.
Ascends. Are we going up?
Sure. You know what? No, because, Bonsai's also on this scene. Maybe we stay on this scene.
We do not want him to want them to feel left out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they do.
This is probably a toilet behind here. Like, $10 says it's a toilet. Let's see. Yep, it's a toilet.
Oh, modern appliances, truly. You live in luxury.
We sure do like our toilets around here.
Wangdoodle, you did not tell me you had the luxuries of modern plumbing.
Mom, I offered to install plumbing for you 4 times.
You know, with how many brothers and sisters you have, your rudimentary toilet would promptly explode, causing more mess than help.
Look, that happened 1 time, okay? And
It
since
was
then, I made a wonderful
everywhere.
waste compaction system. A fully efficient waste compaction system.
It was not very efficient. It was very efficient about getting cobalt pool everywhere.
Do you have any idea how well that works in de-escalating physical situations?
I did not request poo to be flung 80 to 90 feet into air.
Well,
Speaking
no
of
one
poo,
request-
this looks like a library.
There are a couple Somniari elves in here quietly reading, and a scullery maid who is dusting. They both glance up a little bit, but return to their books to try and not look rude. They keep glancing up at Rain as Sick cranes her head in to look around.
Definitely a library. Mhm.
Yes, very nice, full of knowledge. So many elf.
So many elves. You were right, Sick. So many. Oh, Laryl, how are you?
Laryl is just leaning up against the wall and looking off into the distance. You seem to have startled her out of her reverie. Oh. Hello, Rain.
How are you doing?
Tired, exhausted. There have been a lot of very curious drow wondering about where the leadership is going from here, and where the place of the Hamaki will be. I have given them no promises, as I cannot make any. Though I can beseech our kind and generous future rulers for anything that we may need. You have given us our lives back, and I tell them to keep their hopes down.
Well, I think we also gave you back your house after we cleared it, so there's also that. It's no small thing, right?
It is a kind gift, to be sure. Although, after the coronation, I may take or borrow some of the Hamaki and return to the home. We do have a lot of, making up to do with our former patron.
Yes, it was very irate when we dealt with it before, so that's probably a good idea.
I am
Just make sure after the coronation you come by. I have something to give you.
something for me. What could that be?
Yes. Well, you have to come back after the coronation to find out.
Very well. I am in suspense until then. Rain, I would like for you or one of yours to accompany me when we return to House Hamaki, just to ensure we're on the same page. I wish for nothing more than to regain the favor of the Hamaki's bat patron. That may involve beseeching the night for various blessings.
Very well.
I would feel safer with one of you around, just in case anything else untoward tries to infiltrate the Hamaki ranks. I made one mistake out of desperation before. Let my next decisions be laced with caution.
So be it. I will be happy to accompany you.
I thank you.
Provided it does not take very long. I mean, we won't be able to do like a multi-day exorcism or anything. We will be on our way pretty quickly after the coronation. You understand?
I understand. I just do not want to garner any sort of otherworldly attention. It seems like that has happened once before, and I am concerned that this wall between worlds is thinning.
Well, hopefully we'll have something to say about that soon, but until then, it is a reasonable precaution.
Thank you. I will continue to speak with the rest of the Hamaki to make sure that we are all aligned in our support for House Linesti.
Yes, please see that you do. I would hate for further violence to break out. Oh, okay, bye.
Laryl understands, and she leaves. She doesn't want to keep you from everything that you're doing. Plus, she does have some Hamaki loyalists that she wants to speak with.
Good, that's what she's supposed to be doing. Not moping in a damn hallway.
Moping. She was taking a break. Meanwhile,
she's
down
been
the
taking
hall.
a break for years. Didn't even bother inhabiting her own body.
Rude.
Just let a succubus drive it around. Literally, you can't be taking more of a break than that.
I bet you didn't even clock out for that break either. Honestly.
Yeah,
You're past it.
You paid the
She
whole time.
literally didn't. She literally did not.
Down the hall, Frank is having a lively chat with a mummy.
I definitely thought it had something to leave to the imagination, but... Oh, hello, Rain.
Hi,
Wangdoodle?
Frank.
Ah, bonny boy Frank. Hi, Sixy. Frank? Well, sorry. I was being very rude. This is my friend, and Dennis.
We've met, actually. Nice to see you again, and Dennis. And Dennis, this is Siksik. Siksik, this is and Dennis. Recent, actually, I suppose you're both recent residents of Maginox, as it turns out, weirdly.
Greetings, Wrapped One. What is this? What is this man?
I believe they're called mummies, Siksik.
Forgive me, I do not know difference. Aren't they all reborn?
You know, I'm not even going to begin to try to answer that question.
I think that's an excellent question to be asking. In fact, I sat in on a sermon recently that and the person had said, when we return, why do we all return a little bit different? And some people return pretty, and I came back as a bag of bones. And Dennis here, I guess, came back, according to his own destiny, and set a certain prerequisite in order for his body to reanimate if a prophecy was reached. I didn't know you could do that. Did you know you could do that, Rain?
I suppose I did. Well, actually, no, I suppose I did know you could do that, technically.
I mean, the principles all make sense. You're basically setting up delayed stasis.
Oh, those are really big words.
It's like pressing a pause button until something specific happens.
Oh. So, and Dennis wakes up when something happens. But what about me? I just came back at random.
So I suppose the difference in this case then is, and Dennis is somewhat more of a voluntary reborn, while you yourself, Frank, are involuntary.
But yet we're both still here.
And Dennis nods.
We were just kind of talking about what our purpose is. I told Ann Dennis I like to travel the world and meet new people and see new things. I've walked across the ocean floor and seen the deadly diamond dunes of Feronia. And when I said Feronia, Ann Dennis started talking all about old Feronia. I guess when he put himself into stasis, Feronia was a way different place than it is now.
So I've been told.
Sounds like there was a lot more war.
And Dennis is just nodding sagely, but is keeping relatively quiet.
And Dennis
What will you
says,
say?
yeah, and Dennis says they used poisons against their enemies. Poisons taken from scorpions. Ugh.
I see. It's a
Yeah.
rather interesting way to wage war, I suppose.
Well, not just that, but... And Dennis, he has had an army.
That I was aware of, yes. Currently in stasis, I believe.
And Dennis says that the brass that's made in Feronia has special magical holding properties. Have you ever worked with Feronian brass, Rain?
Can't say that I have, no. Then again, I'm not from Arctis, so there's a lot of things I'm sure that I have not worked with. What about you, Wangdoodle?
I mean, considering you're my first real, field experience, I don't really have a whole lot really to say.
Well, turns out, and Feronian brass, this, when it's made in Feronia, got special magical properties. Ooh, and then Dennis, well, he figured out that he could make a mummy army out of this brass and had it hidden underneath his pyramid and waited until the prophecy came.
And this brass, does it get its special properties from the land itself, or is there something in the metallurgy process that bequeaths it?
Since brass is a combination of multiple metals, I think it must stem from the ores that come from the land. But I guess it turns out when you... and Dennis didn't really think of this. When he used so much poison against his enemies, and, well, everything that, worked against him died, and it turns out anything that was painted by, well, the undead, ooh, couldn't actually forge the brass itself. So that's why Ann Dennis's reign kind of came to an end. He killed anybody that could actually forge this brass. And the mummy army, well, that's the only ones he would get. No more people to rule. Just a bunch of mummies in a tomb. Ah,
Would he put? Hey, Frank,
yeah.
or and Dennis. I mean, if you want to answer that, it's fine. Do you still have the old ways, like the instructions, the processes, the methods?
And Dennis nods. Many of the current plans, the ways we forged and handled the brass, that knowledge is currently with the one who unearthed me, the one known as Azrael.
Ah, great. Because if you wouldn't mind sharing that information, I'd be happy to write some notes and see what we can do. I'm sure it's something that could be re-achieved.
If you could recreate the properties of Feronian brass outside of the region, I would be nothing but impressed.
Maybe that's a project you and Coslo could work on together, Wangdoodle. As I understand it, Azrael is in Coslo's employ.
Well, it would be a lot of fun because I did have an idea for something. That's definitely kind of more his field. So yeah, maybe we could do it. We need to do a proof of concept first, but yeah, yeah. Let's pen that one in for later.
But let it be known thus: Baronian brass cannot be forged or touched by necrotic hands. Though it contains necrotic energies, it cannot be tainted by the touch of undeath itself, and thus was an excellent container for my mummy army. But yet, as our living numbers dwindled, we could no longer reproduce the effects of the brass, as too many of us have been tainted, lingering too close to death.
Oh, that sounds creepy.
Sounds like a valuable lesson that was learned.
And Dennis nods. Immortality is not entirely what it is cracked up to be.
You don't even know if you're immortal, Ann Dennis. Maybe our existences end once we've fulfilled whatever keeps us going. At least that's what the church lady said.
Oh, the church lady.
Oh yeah, the speaker at the Church of Eternal Night seemed to know a lot about night and darkness and undeath, and he was asking a lot of good questions. Questions I don't have answers for. I'd be interested in learning about them. Like, why do some of the reborn come back as just bones? And why don't I have all of my memories? And why do some people come back with all their memories? And why do some people come back as ghosts? But then some people come back in different bodies, but different memories. It's all so confusing.
Did she offer you any answers to any of those questions, Frank?
She made me want to come back and ask more questions. I think maybe if all of us in Maginox who are asking these questions banded together, maybe we could all figure it out. How long do I have left on Arctis? 1 minute? 100 years? Well, it's that thought that keeps me wandering. I don't know when I'm gonna crumble to dust. I don't get old like you and show wrinkles and get saggy skin. These bones just get a little more bleached.
Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with asking questions, Frank. Just be careful that your entire existence doesn't become consumed by them. And you
Oh.
forget to live.
That's a good point. One foot in front of the other, I suppose. And Dennis, looking back on it, you regret poisoning all those people. You know, the ones that wouldn't join your army?
And Dennis looks at Rain with what can only be considered mummy concern.
Mummy concern. I don't even know what that looks like.
He can't really move his face, so it's just like his head turns real slowly towards Rain, and the grip around the arm of the chair gets a little bit tighter. That was a different time, different wars, different ideals. Many of us wanted to live forever. We did not have the reborn when I was alive. And thus, different means of immortality were sought out. The utilization of the brass to control and potentially stow the seeping life force that exited our bodies as we rotted away on this material plane. Now, it seems that there are more questions than answers, even so that so long has passed. Frank just nods.
Oh, I didn't mean to get all philosophical on your Rain.
You do have a knack for getting there, though, don't you, Frank?
I guess, well, since I don't remember a lot of stuff, it's just important to ask a lot of questions. That means when I forget stuff, maybe some of the things that stick around are good.
He shrugs.
I don't know, I don't got a brain, so I just hope whatever I learn sticks around so I can remember it the next day. Or, you know, a week from now. But I'm just glad I still remember you, and Wangdoodle, and Kashiba, and Saithius, and Bonsai, and Esther. Well, that's good, right?
I think that's lovely.
And Dennis
And I'm
nods.
glad you're around, Frank.
Me too.
I will be sad if and when you ever turn to dust one day.
Yeah, I wonder when that'll be. I wonder what other things I could see. Hey, you think the pretty moon lady would let me see the inside of a moon sage's sanctum? Never seen one of those before.
I don't know. I suppose you should ask.
Well, a pretty violet lady makes me nervous.
Oh, please, Frank, you're a charmer.
With Frank's boyish chuckle and equivalent charm, that is where we will pause today's session, as we are giving Sick the tour, and hopefully feeding her full of cherry pie, as she comes down a little bit on Wangdoodle for abandoning his flock for the pursuit of higher knowledge. Sick still seems to hold that over her flock's head, even though he's come quite a long way. And as for Bonsai, your search for demons is coming up a bit short, but Sick agrees that your zealotry may not be misplaced. She's concerned that the wall between worlds here is thinning, and, well, things have come across that aren't supposed to, but generally in apexes of great power, such as crisscrossed ley lines. For now, that is where we will pause. We will do another social-ish session. It'll be a little bit more guided next week while we are still out Drion. And then the week after will be the official Coronation Day. So think about anything that you want to do before then. But that'll be our current timeline.
And then Frank's going to reveal that he's actually the real big bad evil guy and just been biding his time.
I've been waiting this whole time.
Rain's Iron Maiden's gonna turn on us and join with Frank. It's gonna be awful.
Frank enters the Iron Maiden. He is now a mech pilot.
And Dennis has showed me the way. Encase myself in brass.
I actually see Frank more as like, what is it, like Mr. Death or whatever from Soul Eater. Like he's just a complete joke the whole time, but everybody gives him like a lot of leeway, and then in the last couple episodes, he's just like a fucking badass, and you're like, oh yeah, okay, now that makes sense now.
Yeah, I mean Frank's been a badass the entire time. He's been hiding how evil he is.
Frank's gonna pop out and Reaper chop a bitch.
Is Frank our Mr. Popo? Is that what this is called? Coming down?
Frank is officially both like the guild, sorry, not the guild, the group's mascot, and like Akashaba's bane of his existence. I miss the Akashaba Frank moments.
Me too.
Frank has mentioned before he does remember he was a powerful necromancer, or so he says. But maybe he's full of it. Maybe he's full of nothing. He's a skeleton. He's not full of anything. He's hollow.
He's full of wonder and discovery and love. Thank you very much.
There's not a lot of retention. But yes, Frank has been asking a lot of questions, and it seems like the church is a good place for him to end up. And Dennis, curiously coming back now that the prophecy has been fulfilled, is full of confusion as he is still here, sustained by the power of Azrael's link.
Fighting over Frank as a Pokemon might actually be the straw that forces Rain to murder the shit out of Azrael.
Do you think Azrael would try to take Frank as a Pokemon?
Absolutely.
No! I am a powerful necromancer! Eh!
Frank is the new pal.
Oh no.
Don't
Well,
take Frank away from me like that.
oh, I know we all love Frank, and God forbid something horrible happened to Frank, like during a major event. Protect our sweet baby bony boy at all costs.
If anything happens to Frank, we will be going to war. I want to make that abundantly clear, Christina.
All
You know the Vakarans are going to kill Frank, right?
Literally all of the Vakarans will be dead. Just all of them. This is how you make genocide happen.
Was that Wangdoodle?
How against the idea are we of, before Frank finally shuffles off into his ashen state, we inter him into some kind of walking death machine?
Oh, like a Feronian brass encased mummy?
Yeah, we could give it a real, intimidating name like a dreadnought.
Whee! I'm a mech pilot.
He does have a crush on Rain's Iron Maiden, so
That's
like
true.
this all kind of fits, honestly.
Just call me Shinji. Shinji, get in the mech. No.
All right, everybody. Next week, a little bit more ceremony prep and fleshing out of everything, and hopefully you will feed sick additional cherry pies, lest you face her wrath. But otherwise, that'll be it for today. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you all have a excellent rest of your week.
Night, y'all.
Yeah,
Thanks
you
for
too.
game.
Thank you. GG.
Thank you. GG's. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
All right, and that's it for Arctis today. Oh, we do have a player out for the next couple of weeks. This is Dreon, who's going to be out. He will be out next week, and then we'll have our big Coronation episode the week after. We'll have some filler content as the characters flesh out their relationships around House Lunesti, get to know some of the other people that have been visiting for the Coronation, and who knows, we might see some familiar faces show up for the special ceremony. Watch our shorts and our funny moments over on Play Arctis on Twitter and TikTok. And you can catch our full episodes over on Arctis DD on YouTube. And I'm Zarina. Hey, thanks for watching. And I hope to see you next time.